Okay, today we are going to be making a spider dip bowl. So something I saw on the Rhodes recipe box. I'm going to give that full it's all them. I'm going to take one of the frozen rolls of dough. This is a loaf of dough, so we're going to actually roll it up into a ball. I'm going to be shy about it. Scrunch it up and make it a nice little round. Try to get all the folds and stuff into the bottom. And we're going to place that really kind of in the center. That's going to be the main body. And then alright, we have another roll of dough, and what we're going to be doing that, we're going to cut off just one of the ends, which is going to be essentially the head. This is probably the wrong knife to use, but we're going to roll that up into a ball, and we're going to place that on the front, and that's going to wind up being the spider's head. So put that over there. You probably can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm just placing it in the front. But now here we're going to make the legs. We're going to cut the roll of dough in half as best we can. Okay. And we're going to cut each one of those in half as well. Alright, we got that. And now that we have those four, we're going to further have it and cut each one of those in half, because the dough is going to rise, so they are going to get plumper. These might seem like, well, those are too thin to begin with, but they're not. And we're going to start placing them on the spider itself. I'll show you a picture of how I've laid that out when I get done. Okay, now I'm going to roll those up a little bit to have so many harsh edges. Continuing cutting those. pan doesn't appear to be big enough, so might be cutting some of the legs down. Let me show you what I've got so far. Alright, I've got these, which I've got those laid out. And I'm going to take the scissors. You see the ones in the back that aren't really that long. I'm going to get them off. Extend those out so they look like the legs a little bit better. Now I'm going to put find out what I do with them. I got some raisins, and we're going to put them in for eyes. Okay. Now I'm going to take 2 little raisins. Ooh, raisins, raisins! And we're going to put them in his eyes. Into that. Into the spider. And now we're going to take some egg wash. And this egg wash I'm using is almost straight egg, simply because I want it a little bit darker. The darker you want it, the less water you put in the egg wash. So, but we're going to brush that across. Mr. Spider. Don't forget his little head. I'm not getting in your way there. Probably am. Probably not making a good video. Okay, now we're going to put those little leg things out there for something to give my little noble dog taste tester. But we're going to put that aside and let that rise for about 30 minutes. And we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and then we'll put it in the oven. What are you doing? Oh, just 30 minutes. Okay, we've let the bread rise, and we've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. So we're going to stick that in there, and I've heard 20 to 30 minutes, so we're going to try 20 to start out with, and then we'll check on it then. Okay, that's 20 minutes, and I know that my raisins have already popped out. It doesn't look like it's really as brown as I want it to be yet. So we're going to put it on for another 5 minutes. And go from there. Well, it's been about 35 minutes, and I finally took it out. There are some spots where I question it, but you can see what happened with the the raisin's eyes. They popped out, so there's no eyes. So I'm gonna try to put those back in a minute, but it looks okay. It looks fabulous, so I wanted it to, but I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit and then turn off the oven. Cool down a little bit and then cut the hole in the top to put the dip in and go from there. Well, I put the raisins back in, cut off the top, and put in some spinach dip, surrounded it with. One thing that they don't tell you is how hard it is to take it from the pan to to another tray. I pulled out one of my large barbecue spatulas and used that, but it was really hard to do. You gotta watch because the legs are heavier and they separate when you try to lift up the body. So, but for my first try, it wasn't too bad. So, happy Halloween.